are here right with me and will be watching this video. Yes, I welcome you all back to the A+Oic. Today we are going to dive into our student book. I hope you know this book. Of course, yes, that is what you use in class, right? Yes, so this is how it is. Okay, so today we'll open into this book. We'll look at the Unit 3 and then Unit 4. Right, I'm confident that you are glad and you are happy to go on this pedestal with me, right? Okay, let's get started. So I opened the book, and then today we'll be looking at Unit 3, right? This is Unit 3, as you can see, Unit 3 right here. Computational thinking, turning input into output. Okay, so we'll look at 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 0.5, and 0.6. And then when done, we'll get to the 4. Okay, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 5, and 6. Right. So that is what we'll be doing in this series. Probably I may put this into maybe 2 separate videos or maybe 4 separate videos. Okay, since we have about 0.1 to 0.6, so maybe each video might be taking maybe 0.3, 0.3, that is 0.6, or maybe 0.6 in one. But no cause for alarm, so we have to just hop on to page 46. So I scroll to page 46. Let's hop on to page 46 right here. We are here. Okay, so page 46, we have this computational thinking. We are turning input into output. You remember in class I told you what input is and then what output also is, right? So inputs are whatever data we feed into the computer. Okay, I have my computer keyboard. Look at this. I have let me take this way. Yes, so I have my computer keyboard in here. Okay, so you see me typing. Okay, I'm typing. So what I'm doing, I'm sending an input. Okay, I'm sending an input to the computer. Okay, whatever that I'm typing is going to go straight into the computer, and then the CPU, that is a processor, is going to process them into output. That is a useful or meaningful information. So looking at this book right here, okay, you can see that everything in this book has been typed. Okay, we typed this using the computer's keyboard. Okay, we use the keyboard to type everything. Okay, and after we typed, okay, it was being processed by the word processor, either Microsoft Office document or any of the software that was being used, or maybe they are going to also use maybe optical character recognition, that is OCR. Okay, and then it has been translated or has been designed, okay, for learners to learn. So we have a really meaningful output from their work that they've done. Okay, so let's continue. So from here, I've mentioned input, I've mentioned output. Okay, so input is whatever that is going into the computer. Output, it is what is coming out of the computer. So input, if I should give you 1 plus 1, okay, it is equal to 2 here. Okay, 1 and 1 is going to be the input. The additional sign, that is a plus, is going to be the process, right? The process, and then the equals, okay, well, the 2 is going to be the output, because when we add 1 and 1, we'll be getting 2. The same thing when you type A on your keyboard. Okay, you see it on the computer as A. Okay, so you take an input to the computer, and then it gives you an output, the result of what you have done. Okay, so let's hop on again. So we are going to learn how to make a program by putting commands in the right sequence. When we talk about sequence, we mean that in the right order. 1 2 3 4 4 5. Okay, there is no way we can have 1 3 7 and then 10. That is not in what? In the right sequence, right? Even though in math we have something we call sequence and series, right? Sequence and series, a set of numbers that follow a particular order. But since we are in grade 3, okay, when we talk about sequence, we mean that it should follow that particular order, or it should follow an order. We don't go from 1 to 10. We go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we move, straight to 10. Okay, and then we are to make a program with commands inside the loop. In our previous lesson, we've seen what a loop is, where we said it is a repetitive structure. Okay, that helps us to do the same thing over and over and over again. And then how to use operators. In class, I told you we have operators, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, like this, and then division, right, like that. So we'll look at that as well. In this unit, we'll make a program with Scratch, okay, using the blocks. Okay, so we'll fit the blocks together, and then that is going to help us to make our program. So anyone can run the program that will be building in this particular lesson. Okay, everyone can be able to do that. So reading from here, running a program means the computer carries out the commands in the program. So if you put your blocks together, okay, block 1, block 2, block 3, you are creating a program. You are arranging a particular set of commands that is going to run and give us a specific output. Okay, so whoever is going to run the program is called a user. So with this, let me just open Scratch here. Let me open Scratch. So if I should I should put blocks here, and then this is a command. I'm saying say this, I'm saying do that, I'm saying do this, do that. You see, so all of these that we are seeing, all of these that we are seeing, okay, they are commands. Even though we know they are blocks, but they are commands, because I'm saying when the green flag clicked, say hello, repeat 10, these are commands. If I ask you to go out and then shut the door, I'm telling you to do something. That is a command. So it's the same way we write our program using commands. Okay, we write them using commands in blocks, and now whoever runs it, so assuming I'm running it, meaning I am the user, right? I am the user. That is how this works. Okay, so let's continue from here. So in this activity, okay, we'll be using the software. You already know we use the Scratch software, Scratch 3.9, right? Okay, don't worry about this. Let's just hop on to what we want to do, right? So we have some keywords we'll have to look. Input, I've explained input, whatever data that is sent into the computer for processing into a usable output. We have a loop doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then we have operator, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That is an operator. Output, okay, whatever data okay, or information that we see, okay, that is the result of our input. It is called output. And then a plan, okay, making what? An arrangement, okay, to provide what? A better sequence or a better structure. And then run, starting the program, that is run. So sequence, following what? An order. Okay, I told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a sequence. And then test, okay, to make sure the program is running in that particular sequence or that particular order. Okay, I told this program, okay, to say I told this program to say hello, repeat 10 and then 15 degrees. So that is what it is going to do. At the moment what the say hello comes last, it means that during the test I realized the program wasn't running appropriately. That is that. So let's continue. Okay, so we are being asked, which do you prefer to use, a computer with a keyboard and a mouse or a touch screen? And that is a question for you to answer. Okay, so when you hear the word scratch or scratching, this is what DJs do. DJs have this it looks like CD like, okay, they spin, they turn them around like what he's doing. Okay, he's scratching, right? So you hear yes, they have the sounds or the songs, okay, on that particular CD, and then what? Yes, they help with the mixing and then playing of the songs right on it. So it is just what? Digitalized, and then it is connected, right? So scratching is what DJs do when they mix what? Sounds together to make what? Music. Scratch programmers also mix sounds, images, and other outputs in their programs. Yes, we looked at the sound category, we looked at the code, and then we also looked at the costume. Okay, so we can mix what? Sound, costumes, and then the blocks, okay, to create our whole program. So let's hop on to the next one. Here we will start from here. I've mentioned these, or I've defined these command, okay, that is for instructions that is given to the computer or given to the sprite, and then the input data that is for sent into the computer, output the result, and then run, okay, starting it. So input means information that goes into the computer, right? In Scratch, input is called sensing. So take note, okay, take note. In Scratch, input is called sensing, okay. That is why when you use the input block, it brings you a particular input box for you to type in. You remember very well, okay. So the sensing blocks are light blue. Yes, we've seen this so many times. They are light blue. And then we look at the output, okay. Output means everything that comes out of the computer, okay. It includes output you can look at and output you can hear. At the beginning of this lesson, in lesson 1 or lesson 2, I mentioned output, and I told you there are two types of output when it comes to Scratch. One that you can look, and then one that you can see, one that you can hear, right? One that you can see or look, and one that you can you can hear, okay. Which I mentioned two blocks categories. The looks block provides the output that can be seen, and then the sound block brings out the output that we can hear. So you look at this particular input, that is a sensing block, light blue, okay. So you can see we have the touching, and then we have distance, we have the axe, and then it goes on and on and on. So we are being told to open Scratch, click on the sensing menu, and then we'll see the sensing blocks. find the ask for your name and wait block. Drag this block into the script area. So let's give it a try. Let me delete this. Yes, so sensing block and then ask for your name. So we can see from here that all of these are sensing block. They are used for input, right? Sensing block. So we have it right here. What we're being to do, we have done that. So let's continue. Yeah, so in Scratch you use the looks blocks for output you can look at, okay, like the bubble that appears, right beside the sprite, and then it says the loose block are purple in color. Already this is one. Yes, this is one. And then the sound blocks, okay, are pink. Okay, yes, so looks and then sound, right? So let's give it a try to see how they also look like. So let me pick looks, okay? This is looks and this is sound. So this is sound. Let me pick this. So look at the looks, right? The looks is purple, okay, and then the sound is pink. So when I click on this, see what happens with the sprite. The looks is actually going to pop up. So as I was saying, if I should click on this, you see, okay, this is asking for the name. Let me just put this one here, okay. And when I run this, yes, so this is what I wanted to just show to you, right? So you saw that particular bubble and then you heard the sound. Okay, so that is that for output and then input. So we know that the output, okay, comes in two forms, with the looks and then with the sound. The looks is what we can see, like having the sprite here. We saw a bubble with an hello here, and then with the sound we heard the meow sound. So that is the output and then the input. So we go to the next page. Okay, we are being told to build this program. We've done this already, okay, and I even did this right now in our program. Okay, we saw that when I clicked okay on the green flag, but this is with a sprite, it asked of my name, okay, and then there was a bubble with the hello, and now you heard the sound. Okay, so I won't waste much time here. I'll move to the next one. So turning inputs into output. Okay, so let's look at this. In this lesson, we are going to change our program so that the sprite says our name, the name that we are going to type in the box, right? You remember in this program, right, when I typed my name, when I typed the name here, look at that. I typed okay, let me type my name. I typed Kwame like that, and it says hello, right? The reason it happened that way is that I've actually sent an input, okay, into the program, okay, but there is nothing reporting for the output. Okay, there is nothing reporting for the output. So we are going to look at how we are going to report this. I've explained this earlier in our lesson 1 and 2. I told you anytime you have this box, right, and then you type in whatever that data that you've typed, is going to be stored in the answer variable or the answer block. Okay, assuming I should what, put the answer block here. So look at this. If I should pick the answer block and then put it here, you realize that whatever that I'm going to type here, again I'm typing this. As you can see, I typed Kwame and then I click on this. It is saying Kwame. Now you saw that. Yes, so we have our input, okay, and then we have our output, now bringing out whatever was the input. And now we are happy seeing that whatever that we typed is what we are getting. So Gigo, right, garbage in and then garbage out, right? Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so it is the same thing that we've been told to do, here, right? So the answer block, when you run the program, you type some inputs. That is true. The computer saves the input that we typed, and it's true with that. Scratch saves the input in an answer block. Okay, you can use the input in your program. So we are being told to open the program and put the answer block. We just did that, right? And then because there is an answer block, we saw whatever that we type. Okay, so that is fine. We also have one block, that is the join block. Here we have the join block. Now you will change the program. The sprite will say two things. Okay, so the join block help us to join two things. Okay, maybe your name is maybe Michael Balak, like that. Michael Balak, right? I wanted to say Michael Balak. So I can join them together using the join operator. Okay, so the join operator is used to join two things together. Let's look at how the join operator works. Okay, so if I go to the operators and I should look for join apple and bananas, right? Join apple and bananas, as you can see from here. If I should pick this, I put it here. Okay, whatever that I typed, I'll put it here. Maybe I'll put this one here, and I'll put Balak here. So I'm joining two things, right? So as you are having a look at it, whatever I type in the box will be in the answer, but I typed Balak by myself in this block. Okay, yes, in this block. Okay, so it's going to report that to me. So let's run this and then let's see. So I typed Michael. You can see I just typed Michael. So let me run this, and now it says Michael Balak. Yes, so you see, so the join block, this join block, yes, it actually joins two things together. Okay, it is going to join them together. That is what the join block does. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Yeah, so they are also showing us the join operator. We've seen that, and then we've used it, okay, in our program, and then you know how it works. We've done this in class also. Okay, so let me just move down here. We have to make a space. Yes, so you know what these ones means? It means that if you saw my program, that was the Michael Balak. Let me run it again. Michael this way, so you saw that Michael Balak has no space, within or in between. Okay, it means that I haven't given it space. So when I come here, if you look at this, wherever this Balak is, this Balak, I have to make sure that, you know, this Balak, like that, Balak this way. I have to make sure there is a space, okay, before the what? The B. So if I should come here, when I click on Balak, I click on this and then I give it what? Space. Can you see it is moving? Right. So let me run again. You see that there is a lot of space that has been created now. So Michael, and let me run it again. Michael, and then I run this. So can you see the amount of space that has been created? Yeah, so I should have created only one. So let me put it back one space. I run it back again. I put Michael and then I click OK. So can you see I now have space, okay, in between Michael and Balak. And this is neat, this is clean. The typography is one that you always want to see because it is looking great. Okay, so that is the space that they were talking about. Okay, that is a space that they were talking about, that will have to leave what space, okay, between them. So that is that. But if you like, you can also give it a try at your end, right? You can make a new program with a new sprite, okay, and then you ask what your favorite computer game is, and then say that what I like to play, say I like to play and the name of the game. Okay, as simple as that. We can just create that. We'll just change this, you know that we'll just have to just change this, and then we'll just put in what is your favorite game, right? What's your favorite game, right? So if I should put what's your favorite game here, and then maybe let me put this one here. I'm going to put the answer here, and I'll write here my favorite game is with a space, right? With a space. You saw there's a space here. So let me run this program. Yes. So all right, football. Very well. So let's see what happens. Yes, it says my favorite game is football. You see, so we've been able to combine these two words, my favorite game is, with what we typed in the input box, right? So the input box has the football. My favorite game is just the text that we placed in here. So join has been able to help us get that particular correct output. So let me put in Ampe here, and then let me run this. So it says my favorite game is Ampe. So that is that for this assignment. Let's move to the next page. Okay, that is 3.3. Operators. I've told you operators are simply addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In computing, you know, addition is addition, multiplication, subtraction is the same, multiplication, as you know, is this, right? But in the computer or in computing, it is the asterisk. Okay, we call this asterisk. So let me put it here, asterisk, that way, asterisk. I write it that way, asterisk. Yes, that is the word. Then we have the word, the forward slash. Yes, the forward slash, that is the division. Okay, so this is a slash, that is for division. So if I have 2 plus 2, you know that it is addition, that is 4, right? If I should give you 2 minus 2, that is equal to 0. If I should give you 2 times 2, 2 times 2, that is 4. If I should give you 2 divided by 2, it is going to give us 1. Right? Is that what you are thinking? Is that what you are thinking? Okay, so that is right. That is right. Okay, so at your level, we are not supposed to do this operator. We call this operator modulus. Okay, it looks like the percentage. Okay, but we call it modulus. We do that when you graduate from this class, you move to the next class. Okay, yes. When we get there, we'll see what that is. But for now, we are to learn only these 4 operators. So in the last session, or in the last lesson, we used the join block. Okay, the join block is an what? It's an operator. Operators are used to transform or change values in a program. Operators turn input into output. In this lesson, we'll use operators that do math. Okay, we use operators that do math. So we have to start a new program and choose any sprite and background that we want. Fit the blocks together to make this program. So this small program here. Okay, I hope by now you can tell me this is an event block. This, okay, is what? Is look. And then this is sensing. Okay, because this is input, this is output, and then this is event. Okay, and we are being told to add what? An operator. So let's dive in. Let's write a program. Okay, it says what? The program is not completed yet. You need to use an add block to add 5 to the number you input. So if you understand this very well, the program says I can add 5. Therefore, whatever the person types in the input box, we should be able to add 5 to it. What are you thinking it is going to be? Do you think we are going to pick the addition operator? And then what else do we do? Are we going to put the answer block in and then put 5 here? If you are together with me with the same mindset, with the same imagination, then we are right. Let's hop in and then let's see how best we can do that. So I'm going to delete all of these. Let me delete all of these. I'll delete these and then let's start again. So I'm going to say with a look, then I'll type I can add 5 to any number that you type, right? Any number that you type, like that. And then here I'm asking you for an input that types something. So okay, if you think I'm telling lies, type the number. Let me write. Okay, if you think I am telling lies, type any number. Very good. Type any number. Okay, so when they type any number, how do you think we'll let them see what they've typed? We have to use output. Okay, remember that we have to use output. This is an input, this is an output. Before we allow them to see what we are saying, I can add what? 5 to what? Any number. That is an output. And now we've taken the input. Now we have to let them see. Okay, so let's get back again. So this is an what? This is an output. This is an input. We'll have to what? Get an output for them to see again what we are doing. So what do you think? We'll go back to looks. Maybe we'll pick what? Say hello. So with this say hello, since we want to add 5, then we have to go to operators, right? And then we'll pick what? Addition. We'll put it here. And then I told you, if you are together with me, then meaning whatever that the person types is in answer, you know already. And then let me put it here before, and I bring this here and I put 5 here. I know you are with me. This is a very simple program, right? So when the green flag clicked, I can add 5 to any number. So this is going to show, okay, by the sprite, just like that. And then this one is going to show that type the number, okay, you think I'm lying, so maybe you can type like 10. This is going to say 10 plus 5. And then because this is an output block, okay, it is going to do the calculation and then bring us the result automatically. You don't have to do anything, okay? It is going to bring. So let's give it a try. Let me click on this. Let's see. It says I can add 5 to any number, right? That is an output that you are seeing. So if you think I'm telling lies, type any number. Okay, so I typed 100. Yes, you can see I have 100. So with that 100, I click on OK, and then it now says 105, which is correct. That is a simple program that we've done. Okay, that is a simple program that we've done. So that is correct from here. So it's the same thing they are talking about. You can see how simple this is. Okay, so the instruction was to look at the operator's menu, find the operator that has the add symbol, drag it into there. We've done all of this, and then I know we can all do this. Okay, that is as simple as that. We've done this. So I'll move on to the next one. Okay, but there is a stretch zone here. Okay, this one says look at the picture showing the operator blocks. The operators can do math, right? Make a program that multiplies a number by 7, and then make a program that uses another math operator. So multiplies by 7, you know what to do. You have to use the multiplication block, right? And then we'll put 7 there, and then you still use your answer, right? And then you make a program that uses another math operator. So you can use the subtraction block, you can use the division block, and it goes on and on and on. Okay, so let's move on to 3.4. I'm going to stop in here, and then with my next lesson we'll be taking 3.4, 0.5, 0.6, and we end unit 3, and then we take unit 4 until we meet again in unit 4 and in lesson 4. The name is the A+Oic. Bye bye.